Hi, I'm Dan from Gatecrashers. So, if you don't know me from my website or the podcast, I have been reviewing films for about 3 years now, and I decided to start trying to do video reviews. This is my first, so bear with me. Today, we're going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which I saw last night at a early screening. I really enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable film if you're into Marvel movies, because it's just like another episode in the what I kind of figure is like a TV series for me at this point. It's like I go to see one, I'm like, okay, what's next? That's all they've become with the fourth wave. But if you love Paul Rudd, you're gonna love this movie. Also, Jonathan Majors as Kang rules. So this one's about Scott and Hope Van Dyne, along with Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, going to the quantum realm. But what's really important is that Cassie Lang, Scott's daughter, is a much bigger part, played by Catherine Newton. She's probably one of the driving forces of the movie, that I would say. She's great. That's really important because the Young Avengers have to be coming. There's no chance they're not. They've been setting them up since this phase started. You have the two in WandaVision. You have one in what was that show that was so bad? Captain America and Winter Soldier, which sucks because both of those leads are incredible. And you have others scattered throughout. So, like, we know the Young Avengers are coming. We just have to get there. So, knowing that Cassie Lang is awesome and you really like her is incredible. I think the Ant-Man movies kind of rule for me. And the reason is that Scott Lang's just kind of a loser. And he talks about that in this one, which is really cool because, like, he's not a billionaire philanthropist. He's not a super soldier. He was a criminal. And now he's like fallen into this spot where he can do good. And this one's kind of about him deciding if he's going to keep doing that or not. After he dealt with everything in Avengers, he's just kind of like, I did it. I'm done. Which isn't what you do when you have these powers. So the movie overall was just kind of another Marvel movie. There wasn't anything super special. Every chance at emotional stakes are ruined by a joke. Surprise. Uh, the CGI is pretty bad at points, especially with mask stuff, as usual. Iron Man's mask looks like he has a chicken neck. But MODOK is really funny, despite having the worst CGI I've maybe ever seen. It looks like someone forgot to tell Disney that there was CGI past 1998, which sucks because I know the companies making those special effects are pushed pretty far by Disney. And like last minute changes and things like that, because we've seen plenty of reports about that. But it is what it is at this point. It's like Disney should be able to put out CGI that looks good. Jeff Loveness, who wrote for Rick and Morty for a while, wrote this one. And you can kind of tell because a lot of these aliens with him and whoever designed the costumes really, they made something special. Like the quantum realm feels truly unique to the Marvel universe. There's a lot of weird little creatures in this who you're gonna fall in love with. They kind of take the whole Thor Ragnarok thing with the weird, adorable side characters who you're like, oh, I want more of that. With like Korg and things like that, you get a couple of those in this. Someone who is obsessed with holes is just a wild thing. Bill Pope's cinematography was pretty good. It's a very cool looking movie because the quantum realm isn't space, but it kind of is. It's a interesting thing. Sammy Sheldon did the costume design, which I need to mention because just like the aliens look so cool. There's a broccoli guy. Like there's so many things that like drew me in that I was like, oh, I want to see more of this world. Like this is so interesting. I'm really excited that they're doing something a little bit different and not just basic people the whole time. Jonathan Majors. I'm the person I saw with mention they're lucky they got him so early because that dude is going to be the biggest movie star and kind of already is. He's in Creed 3 next 2 weeks from now. Jonathan Majors fucking rules. He's a really good actor, and him as Kang, he's pretty intimidating. He's got this very unique speech pattern that he's just kind of like he really hams it up. He rules. And Kang the Conqueror is a pretty interesting character, especially with the time travel aspects and the fact that he's a descendant of Reed Richards, which we know the Fantastic Four is coming. So seeing that is like, oh, when are we going to get Reed? So, all right, let me back on that one. I don't give a shit about Reed Richards. the person I gave a shit about is the Thing. So Ben Grimm, can't wait for you to get here. I really hope you're played by Seth Rogen. But overall, I think it was a nice capstone to the trilogy that is Ant-Man. The first one rocks. The second one's okay. Great villain. This one felt like they kind of evened out and it was a good movie. It's not something I'm going to talk about forever. Paul Rudd's great. Jonathan Majors, Catherine Newton, Michelle Pfeiffer. Michael Douglas is pretty good in it too. I wish he was in it more, but it is what it is. Peyton Reed did a good job directing it. I do wish there was more emotional stakes because every time you are about to have that, they hit you with a joke. And I just kind of want sometimes for a message to be in these movies, but I know I have to stop looking for that in these because that's not what they are. But yeah, overall, I really do think it's an enjoyable film, and I think you should see it in theaters, especially if you can see it in IMAX, because seeing it on a bigger screen always rocks. But yeah, I would give this a solid. This is my Letterboxd review. I would probably give it a 2.5 stars. It was good. Nothing to write home about. Thanks. Check out more of my reviews on gatecrashers.fan. I have a lot more coming. I'll be doing a lot of reviews this year. So if you like this format, let me know because I'm happy to keep doing videos.